This year's National Day of Mourning, a coalition of organized civil society groups across Nigeria has called on the Nigerian government to track the financial flow of ransom and communal extortions to identify and bring to book terrorists and terror merchants currently pillaging Nigeria. The group, who made the call at a press conference in Abuja, also urged Nigeria's government to provide better welfare services for security personnel who daily deal with the trauma of being in the front line. Clayview's correspondent was there and now tells us more.
Marked annually in Nigeria on May 28, the National Day of Mourning and Remembrance for Victims of Mass Atrocities and Violent Killings is an annual citizen-led initiative that recognizes that victims are more than just numbers. A coalition of organized civil society groups across Nigeria in commemoration of the 2024 National Day of Mourning have reiterated calls to government at all levels to fulfill its constitutional duty of ensuring the security and well-being of Nigerians, account for missing, the dead, and ensure justice for various forms of mass atrocities across the country.
We noted that the sustained trend of brazen killings, abductions, and pillages across the country reflect the impugnacious confidence of armed groups whose acts of violence are rewarded with ransom payments, control over pillaged communities, and tax extorted from communities in exchange for peace.
That the government should track the financial inflow of ransom and communal extortions to identify and bring to book terrorists and terror merchants currently pillaging Nigeria. Finally, that the government investigates, arrests, and prosecutes all perpetrators of these violent crimes, including those perpetrated during the 2023 general elections.
The group of CSOs, who pledged to always amplify citizens' voices and demand accountability from the government, also called on TINUBU's led administration to suspend its one-year celebration of achievement in office for obvious reasons of poor economy.
If nobody has told President TINUBU that he is failing at this point at the celebration of his one-year anniversary in government, we, the collective civil society organizations of Nigeria, are telling him that he has not only failed, he has exhibited crass irresponsibility. And is it because that we run a presidential federalist system of government where you are guaranteed 4 years? So when you do anything you can do to capture that power and you are sworn in as president, you care less about your responsibility? If nobody can tell him, we, the third sector of representing the Nigerian people, are telling him that we are not satisfied, we are not deceived by the antics of governance, by the sweet talk of those who run government for themselves, forgetting the principal and primary responsibility of governance. Nigerians are suffering. There's hardly any family that has not been touched by this level of insecurity. Let me tell you something. If it is not because of what my senior brother Rafsanjani said, that insecurity is benefiting those who are paid salary as soldiers, as members of the armed forces. If not, why would it endure for that long? What does it take for an organized army that has all the money that it requires to buy all the weapons, that it requires to fight a group of persons who gather, who are ragtag, who are not trained? They enjoy it. They enjoy the fat the defense budget, and without a commensurate success. They enjoy the fact that Nigeria is now in this state that is on its knees. And we note that it appears that even the past and present presidents are afraid of these armed forces. The president is unable to look them in the eye and say, Commander, the Chief of Defense Staff, you are failing. Chief of Army Staff, you are failing. The Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Inspector General of Police, you are all failing the Nigerian people. And it doesn't end from there.
Just last week, over 40 persons were killed in Riom, in Jos Plateau State, and nothing seemed to happen. And we will keep hearing this over and over again because of the struggle for the natural resources. We have the global meltdown, the rains are not coming as it used to. And so, what is the government doing about this? We have the government of Bola Tinubu saying that you want his ministers to score themselves. I don't see that is possible. You give a student an exam and you tell him to score himself. What do you think he's going to score himself? Let Nigeria score the ministers. Let us tell them that you have failed in your responsibility and you have failed as the responsibility given to you as ministers and you need to resign.
The National Day of Mourning aims at rekindling sense of solidarity and nationhood by reminding everyone that Nigerians are in this struggle together and that the office of the citizens is the most powerful office that can be occupied in Nigeria. Imefon Okon reporting for Clever News.